Hi there, welcome back on the channel. As you can see, we have another Audi today. We've already reviewed a couple of Audis, then I took a break to film a BMW, but now it's time to have another Audi, and again in green apparently. This time we have the A5, it's the Sportback configuration, manufactured in 2023, and this one has done about 45,000 kilometers until now. In terms of the configuration, we have the 40 TFSI Quattro with S-Tronic gearbox. What does that mean? Well, pretty much we have a mild hybrid with a 2-liter petrol engine, a 4-cylinder with a turbo, coupled, as I said, with an automatic, a double clutch gearbox, actually, the S-Tronic with 7 gears. And the power goes to all 4 wheels via the Quattro all-wheel drive system. It's the Quattro Ultra here, so not the usual typical Quattro that Audi used to put on their cars. In terms of specs, you're looking at about 210 kilometers per hour. That's limited, obviously, and the sprint from 0 to 100 happens in about 6.8 seconds. Not amazing, but considering that the output of the engine is a bit over 200 horsepower and something like 320 Newton meters, it's something to be expected considering the weight of the thing, which is about 1.6, almost 1.7 tons. So not quite a light vehicle, considering that it's sort of a medium-size sedan, hatchback, whatever you want to call it. In terms of the consumption, obviously it's not gonna be 6-7 liters like Audi states, but this model actually, for the past 45,000 kilometers, it's seems it averages around 10 liters per 100 kilometers, which in my opinion it's alright. But almost none of that is really important for the average buyer, because I mean, look at it. It's an interesting design. It's something different compared with most of other cars in this segment. You have the Sportback look in the back, which means you can actually carry quite a lot of stuff with this model. But as I said, the main thing I think is the design that's gonna compel you to buy something like that, like this. And now let's check out the trunk space. As I said, the opening is quite large, being sort of a hatchback, this model. And as you can see, our carry-on luggage seems a bit petite in here. I think you can squeeze 7, maybe 8 carry-on luggages like this one in here. And you also have a 12-volt outlet in here, some hooks that are spring-loaded on either side, some additional space in here, and on this model, a towing hook. Oh, and I almost forgot, underneath the boot floor you also have a small spare wheel and the car battery and some additional space. Anyway, even though we have a sloping roofline and towards the back the space seems to get a bit narrower, I think it's pretty useful actually. It's a bit more in terms of depth compared with my old Audi A7, but in some regard that's a good thing, because as you can see, you can fit a lot of luggages back here. Now let's check out the interior. Being a premium car, you do have some decor elements on the door card. This part is similar with the interior of the car, and it's actually quite soft. Only up here it's Audi soft, to say so, meaning that you do have a small soft surface, but underneath is something quite hard and brittle. A weird thing is that we don't have pockets on the front chairs, and even though we have an armrest, I'm not really sure where are the cup holders. I don't think that they exist back here. At least we have a couple of USB-A's actually, a 12-volt climate unit, and some light. As you can see, this is the space back here. With the front chair almost in line with the B-pillar, I do have more than a palm of space for my knees, but if I were to sit in front, I would probably recline the front chair a bit more towards the back, so maybe consider about a palm of space. Even though you sit quite low in the car, you can stretch a bit under the chair, and yeah, the bench goes upwards for a bit, but I do have the same complaint. Almost one palm of my legs are not supported. Oh, anyway, and in terms of headroom, yeah, I do have about a palm, yeah, something like that, 4 fingers of space, but this sloping roofline means that I do feel a bit claustrophobic in here. So yeah, all in all, it's alright for the most part. On the front passenger side, the door card obviously it's similar with the one in the back, nothing fancy up here even. And the seat itself, it's a base seat, even though we have leather and electrical adjustments even on this side with the 4-way lumbar support. We don't get that extension in the front part. Now let's check out the space. An interesting door closing sound, and as you can see, I do have about 3 fingers of space for my knees, and they don't touch the center console because it's a bit lower than the position of my knees. But yeah, all in all, it's alright. The glove box, it's covered quite deep, so I think it's alright. Finally, let's check out the driver's side. Obviously, we have some additional controls for the windows and outside mirrors. You can open the trunk area from here, lock and unlock the doors from the inside, and we also have memory function on the driver's side. The seat itself is identical with the one on the passenger side, and on the left side of the steering wheel we have the light control. Now let me take a seat inside and actually just start the car as well. I'm sorry for my voice and also my nose. It's quite runny because the allergies are starting to act up. So yeah, I'm running out of breath. But anyway, let's continue. Yeah, the steering wheel feels nice. It's not too thick. We still have physical buttons, even though the car is from 2023. We do have a flappy pedal gearbox on this model. Some usual Audi stocks with this awesome control for the lane assist. I really miss it. The wipers are on the right side, and you also have the cruise control adaptive on this model, lower on the left side again. The gauge cluster, it's all digital. It doesn't reflect as much in real life, and as you can see, that's the average consumption of this model. You do get the oil temperature in there, and something to mention about the Mather review with the Q7, you could actually option to modify the look of the gauge cluster, but I did have to go a bit more in the MMAE system to find that out. You can make it look this way, or dynamic look, as they say. Meh, I'm still a fan of the classic look. And you can also put your map in here, so that's always nice to see. Going further, we have the gauge cluster, the light cluster, I meant, the mirror, which is frameless and dimmable, the new MMI system with touchscreen, actually, hazard lights, the climate control, which still uses physical buttons, something nice to see, and they do have an interesting click to them. Then you can close the screen of the MMI system. You have the parking sensors, the stability control, start system, and also the driving modes. You start the car from here and stop it, obviously. We have a small cabin there with a 12-volt and another USB-A. A couple of cup holders that are adjustable and do have some ambient lighting to them. This space was reserved for the MMI controller in the back, but now it's pointless, at least in my opinion, because you're not really able to fit your phone in there unless you have a foldable, or I don't know, maybe your wallet, but nah, sort of pointless. Then you have the gear selector for the S-Tronic transmission, the parking brake auto hold function, and the sound control of the MMI system, something like that. A small cubby for your key, probably, an armrest which is adjustable on two-way, wireless phone charger in here with some additional storage space, and the USB-C this time. Welcome to the driving part of the review, today with the A5 Sportback. I've been driving the car for a moment, and as you can see, for now at least, I'm driving quite slow, well, in line with the speed limit and the traffic, but quite in an efficient manner. I did reset the trip on this vehicle, and as you can see, it shows 5.8 liters for the moment. It's not necessarily relevant because I've been driving only on this stretch of road, which is sort of a dual carriageway here in Romania, and it's quite low on traffic. But considering that we have a 2-liter petrol engine with Quattro all-wheel drive and double-clutch gearbox on a vehicle that weighs almost 1.7 tons, I think that this is amazing. It's a really good value compared, obviously, with former models and former iterations of this engine. So yeah, that's sort of an intro. I'll do a sprint in a moment to get back on this road, something from 20 to 30 kilometers per hour to about 100. But obviously, I hope you're not expecting very much from this engine. And to be sincere, it doesn't sound all that good. Mainly because of the OPF, the petrol particle filter. Older models did used to have a nicer sound. But anyway, going back to my first impressions, I think this model is a good compromise because it doesn't do anything good, well, not good, amazing in particular, but for the most part, it's a good package. It's a vehicle that can be used inside the city because it's not that wide or long in terms of outside dimensions. But even so, you can still use it outside the city with your family, with a lot of luggages, because as you saw, the trunk is quite spacious. And for the most part, it's a comfortable car. Again, not amazing in terms of the suspension, even though we are running on 18 inches. which are almost the smallest dimensions available, but we don't have adaptive suspension, so maybe that's something to consider with this vehicle. The noise levels again are not impressive. We don't have frames over the windows, so probably it does have something to do with that. And we don't get double-sided windows, so they could improve it even further. But I think this is the main aspect of the model. It's actually an improvement, an evolution of the first generation. It is quite a popular car in the Audi lineup, and it does have a new model actually nowadays. But that's my first impression. It's an evolution, not a revolution, compared with some other Audi models. Now I'm going for a moment out of the main road to do the sprint. I'll switch the gearbox to dynamic as well, and hopefully the traffic will allow me to do the sprint the way I intended. You could probably see on the camera as well that the suspension is a bit hard on this pavement. The car moves quite a lot underneath me. But let's see the sprint from 20. That was it. As I said, it's not impressive, but it will do the job. You could overtake with it without a doubt. So for the most part, it's alright. I did another sprint like that one, and you can see the consumption is still going down. It's 5.5 at the moment. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I would pick a different trim if I were to order this vehicle for myself, something with a bit more power. But as I said, for the most part, it's a good compromise between performance and efficiency. Some other impressions: obviously it's really easy to drive the thing. The steering wheel is super light in typical Audi fashion, even if you switch the car to dynamic. The pedals are easy to modulate. The brake pedal is incredible, because even though it's a mild hybrid and certainly does have some regenerative braking, you don't feel it a bit. And the fact that we have auto hold, it's another bonus in my opinion. The gearbox, you wouldn't know that's there. You can hear the engine sometimes, and that's how you figure out that the gearbox is doing stuff, because other than that you don't feel a thing, not even in dynamic, which I would prefer to have a little something as a feedback. But anyway, other than that, it does coast when, especially if you use efficiency, but also in dynamic it could coast. So yeah, the consumptions are sort of to be expected, and it's still dropping 5.3. Incredible. In my opinion, that is almost the same consumption that you could get with a 2-liter diesel engine on this platform. So yeah, as I said, impressive. Anyway, going back to the car, For a moment, I'll talk about the maintenance. Because it's a petrol engine, you don't really have to be a saint with the oil changes and oil filters, but it's best to do the regular maintenance at about 10,000 kilometers, even less so if you're using the car only inside the city. And I don't know, the gearbox has to be serviced at about 50,000 kilometers. The all-wheel drive, something similar, and you have to replace the spark plugs probably at around 50 to 60,000 kilometers. But that's pretty much it. It's not a sporty vehicle. It's not really encouraging you to drive fast. It's not that heavy. So I doubt that you'll have problems with the suspension, the brakes, or the tires. And that's why I'm thinking that overall, the overall cost of ownership is gonna be quite low, actually. So that's why I said that the overall feel is of a compromise. It doesn't excel in anything, and actually that's one of the drawbacks, in my opinion. Because I don't feel like it has anything special about it. It doesn't have a soul, to say in this manner. That's one of the things that I'm not really enjoying. It's an alright car to go from A to B in any circumstance. And going further on the fact that it's the evolution of the former model, the first gen didn't have an electric tailgate at all, and it was quite a heavy tailgate, so that's something that is necessary with this vehicle. Other than that, not much to talk about. On the positive side, on the other hand, being a fan of the brand, I always feel sort of at home when driving an Audi. And I have the same impression here as well. I do enjoy driving it. I think it could be better, but overall I'm fine with it. I would go, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 kilometers in it without a problem. I really appreciate the fact that we don't have any piano black inside the cabin. And the design, obviously, it's one of the main aspects of the Sportback models from Audi. You do get a lot of space in the back and also in the trunk area, but without sacrificing the look for a sedan sometimes, or even an estate. Anyway, it's my own personal opinion, so that's about it. In terms of the driving part as well, hopefully you enjoyed what you saw, and you should consider liking the video and actually subscribing to the channel, because it's free, so why wouldn't you? And if you want to share your impressions about this model or the former one, you can use the comment section here on YouTube or on social media. Until next time, thank you for watching.